I'm Mahdi Shaheeb Sher. My website is www.mahdishaheebsher.com. I think one of my interests in the world as Mahdi Shaheeb Sher is the European Union. I think we've had the European Union since the 70s, so it's been a good 50 years that we've had the European Union. I think that the European Union is quite an important power block in the world. It's like a European version of the United States. We have the United States of America and we have the European Union. I think the United States of America has 50 stars on its flags for 50 states within its country. And I think the European Union has 20 stars on its flag for 20 states in its country. So I think that the European Union is quite significant in the world. I have disfavorable opinions about the European Union because I think that Europe should be balanced as an area within the world, and I think it shouldn't be too powerful or concentrated like the European Union. I think that the European Union is too ambitious for the world and Europe, especially because it's not existed before. And I think that the European Union, following post-World War II reconstruction of Europe, is maybe not in a position to develop itself as a European Union. So I think there are misgivings and concerns about the European Union, and I think that's shared by other countries in the world, maybe including the United States of America. I think that to have such an ambitious project like the European Union of that size could cause problems like it has done. I think one of the problems we have with the European Union is the agricultural policy. If you look at the economy of the European Union, there seems to be no economy in the European Union other than the agricultural industry. With the agricultural policy, I think all that the Europeans do within the European Union is farm and food processing and maybe do other agricultural industry. And there seems to be little else other than agriculture and maybe the automotive industry as well. So there is a slight disturbing concern that there's an absence of industry in the European Union and maybe an absence of an economy in the European Union other than agriculture. And that seems quite absurd considering that developing countries have to depend on agriculture. So I think that the European Union has to depend on agriculture for its economy is slightly concerning. And I think it could be put down to the fact that most Europeans like a relaxed lifestyle involving gardens and tables and benches with food outdoors. So I think the Europeans like to kind of have maybe a lazy, easy attitude towards life. And maybe that's why they're not so work productive as maybe other countries. But I think there are issues around the European Union. And I think that we also have a weak euro currency. And we also have things like Airbus and the Eurofighter. I think these things are also controversial in the European Union. I think the euro shouldn't exist as a single currency. Maybe we should have multiple currencies in Europe because there's multiple countries in Europe. So I think that's one of the controversial aspects of the European Union. And I think also the aircraft manufacturing that occurs in the European Union could outweigh the aircraft manufacturing that occurs in America. and maybe in other parts of the world. So I think another controversial aspect of the European Union could be the fact that they're creating some kind of automotive industry with the airline industry, with aircraft manufacturing and production, and that can be quite controversial as well. But I think that the European Union has lost half of its size over the past maybe 20 years. I think a lot of countries have exited from the European Union, and most of the Eastern European countries are not able to fit into the European Union. So I think that the European is maybe exclusively part of France and Germany. I think it's exclusively for France and Germany. I think that's what the European Union is really, just France and Germany. So that's another controversial aspect of the European Union. I think if Europe has to grow as a continent, then it can't consist of just two dominant countries, France and Germany. I think that neglects the number of other countries that exist in Europe. I mean, we have Slovenia, Czechoslovakia, we have Poland, Hungary, Romania, Greece, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Denmark, Netherlands, Belgium, Norway, Finland, Sweden. There's lots of countries in Europe that are very advanced as countries and do have a rightful place in the world with those advanced mechanisms and infrastructures and processes. So I think that Europe does have a lot to offer the world, but I think that it should be well placed and balanced as multiple countries rather than just France and Germany dominating Europe. So that's my view on the European Union. Thank you.